Coming up next on KPBS Evening Edition, a San Diego congressman says he doesn't support cuts in defense spending, but he does want to end both wars to save money. We put Congressman Bob Filner on the record about the supercommittee's failure, medical marijuana, and public pensions. And thousands of San Diegans are caregivers to aging parents. There is help. We'll tell you where you can turn for financial and emotional support. KPBS Evening Edition starts now. Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Joanne Farian. Dwayne Brown has the night off. The San Diego Police Department says it spent more than $2.4 million to maintain order and safety at Occupy San Diego protests. 108 people have been arrested since the movement began October 2nd at Civic Center Plaza, many for refusing to leave when police tried to remove their encampments. A police spokesperson says the department spent more than $143,000 on overtime and more than $2.2 million on personnel that have been redeployed from their regular assignments throughout the city. Meanwhile, a federal judge is considering a request for a temporary restraining order against the city of San Diego and the police department. The protesters say police are violating their constitutional rights by breaking up their camps. A lawyer for the protesters tells us the judge will issue a written ruling at a later date. Authorities in Tijuana say they've seized a huge amount of cash from the Sinaloa drug cartel, more than $15 million. Along with the piles of cash, Mexican soldiers found drugs, weapons, and jewelry in a wealthy Tijuana neighborhood. This is the second largest cash seizure since 2006, when Mexican President Felipe Calderon began an aggressive push against the cartels. San Diego's temporary homeless shelter opened its doors this week in Barrio Logan. The shelter provides beds to 220 people a night. But KPBS reporter Katie Orr says it could soon be a thing of the past.
San Diego's annual winter homeless shelter is up and running. It's expected to serve more than 800 people this season, but this may be the last year this tent goes up. A new permanent shelter will eventually replace the tent. It's going to be located here, the San Diego World Trade Center building in downtown's financial district. Bob McElroy runs the Alpha Project, which operates the temporary winter shelter and will be in charge of the 150 emergency beds at the new shelter. He says while there will be 70 fewer emergency beds, the new shelter will be open year-round, which will make a difference.
Not enough, obviously. I mean, everybody knows it's not enough, but, it's something.
McElroy says the situation is frustrating because San Diego finally has the political will to tackle the homeless problem, but the economy means there aren't any resources. Councilman Todd Gloria emphasizes the shelter will provide a number of services to transition people out of homelessness, and he says it will serve as a model for other regional shelters when more money is available. Gloria points out San Diego's working on several major projects, from a new stadium to a new library.
The first project that's going to get done is the homeless shelter. And I think that says a lot for our city, where our priorities lie.
Still, there's a lot left for San Diego to do. There are more than 3,000 homeless people living on the streets throughout the city, and everyone involved agrees the number of people in need of help is only going up.
That was Katie Orr reporting. San Diego spends about $500,000 to operate both the temporary winter shelter and the Veterans Village shelter. The shelter operators ask for donations to cover the rest of the costs. Both shelters will operate into next April. The permanent shelter is scheduled to open in about a year. The Marine Corps is reviewing arguments over a cross at Camp Pendleton. It was put up on a base hillside on Veterans Day as a memorial to Marines killed in Iraq. The cross was not officially sanctioned by the Marine Corps. A military atheist group now says the cross is unconstitutional and must come down, while a Christian group is asking it be left alone. Just before the kickoff of the holiday shopping season, a consumer group is warning parents to be careful about what they buy. The California Public Interest Research Group says parents can overlook some dangers, such as chemicals in toys or playthings that are so loud they can damage young ears.
You're looking for the best, shiniest toy for your kid, and you're not always thinking, does this pose a choking hazard, does this have lead in it, or does this pose some other risk to my kid? And so we think that it's important to get the information out to consumers so that they can make informed decisions.
The report is available online at CalPIRG, that's CalPIRG.org. He's been a congressman representing San Diego for nearly 20 years, and now he's running for mayor of the city of San Diego. Democrat Congressman Bob Filner joins me to talk about the Super Committee's failure to reach a deal yesterday, and we'll also put him on the record about medical marijuana and public pensions. Thank you so much, Congressman, for being here.
Sure. Hi.
Hi. Let's talk about the Congressional Super Committee. So they couldn't reach a debt reduction plan. Trigger cuts go into effect, the majority in defense spending. We had an economist yesterday telling us that that could devastate San Diego's economy. Would you support $600 billion in defense cuts?
Well, let me say, first of all, I call it the blooper committee because, look, it's embarrassing to be a member of Congress. This is not rocket science. We should have been able to come to an agreement. And yet, what American people want is a balanced approach, severe cuts, some areas, but also closing tax loopholes and getting more revenue on the other hand. You have to do both, and somehow we couldn't come to that agreement. But this so-called automatic cuts, they're not going to take effect for at least a year, or more than a year. Congress giveth and Congress taketh away. That is, the trigger is only a congressional law. We could pass another law that says they're not going to be triggered. So I don't think those cuts will really ever take place, in my opinion.
But isn't that why people are so unhappy with Congress? Because they do this. They kick the can. Let's use this tired old cliche. They sort of kick the can down the road. Aren't you sort of saying that you're just going to do the same thing now? Why not take responsibility and say, okay, these are the cuts that go into effect?
It's unfortunate that we kick the can down the road. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm saying this is the pattern. This is a result of the gridlock that goes on. So, when you're dealing with such big cuts that affect so many American communities like San Diego, I'm not sure that Congress will be able to do that.
But you have to cut something. Why not start with defense? It's a huge chunk of the federal budget.
I could cut trillions of dollars from our budget rather than the hundreds of billions they're talking about by ending the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan now. Let's bring those young people home. We're talking about not only...
But they're linked. You can't get away from defense spending in San Diego and private contractors and say that you're going to end the war. Those two budgets, those two things are linked.
No, they're different kinds. They're different kinds of budget items. Beside, many of those troops are from San Diego and Camp Pendleton and the Navy and the Marines. Let's bring them back home to San Diego where they could take part in the economy. There are communities, say Oceanside, that are being devastated by the loss of those the troops that are in.
Right, but defense spending, private defense spending supports the wars.
I know, but we're talking about whole different categories. We're not talking about weapon systems. We're talking about the personnel costs of there, the ammunition costs of there, the veterans costs of keeping them there. We are. These are wars that should not have been fought, but they're also wars that are just draining us, not only of the men and women who are either killed or wounded, and many, lifetime with mental illness, but we're talking about, again, trillions of dollars. And I think they're different categories. I believe that my debt reduction plan would not hurt San Diego, but help it.
So the Washington Post had an interesting op-ed piece yesterday that really summed up the Super Committee's failure in their opinion, which was the fundamental difference between Republicans believing that the wealthy shouldn't contribute more to deficit reduction, whereas the Democrats saying they should be contributing more than they are now. Do you think that's fundamentally what this comes down to, really taxes?
Well, it comes down to what I call a balanced approach to solving our deficit. The Democrats put on the table cuts to programs that we are identified with, and yet the Republicans wouldn't put on the table revenue increases. And we're talking about not in tax increases. We're talking about closing tax loopholes, for example, or subsidies to the oil industry, which are making hundreds of billions a year, and we still give them tens of billions a year in subsidies. Why are we doing that? And yet the Republicans won't consider that. The American people want a balanced approach, and they can't understand why we can't agree on it. I don't understand why we can't agree on it.
I want to move on to a San Diego topic because, of course, you are running for mayor. Last week, we know that the city clerk confirmed there are enough signatures to put a pension reform measure on the ballot, which would eliminate guaranteed pensions for new city employees and also freeze pensionable earnings for current employees expecting to save more than $1 billion over 25 years. You're the only candidate who doesn't support this reform. Why not?
Well, it's not pension reform. It's throwing public employees under the bus with an unfair pension plan for them, and it doesn't save any money. I mean, you know, Mr. DeMaio and Mr. Fletcher, Mr. Manis say we're going to save what you said, but that's not true. There is no guarantee in this initiative that we're going to save any money. In fact, it costs us $100 million over the first 6 years. It's unfair because employees are subject to the stock market without, and most people don't know this, city employees do not have Social Security. They do not have any backup. So to put them, the people who collect our trash and clean our streets and, you know, put out our fires, we're throwing them under the bus. On the other hand, because it's a new system, it takes money from the old system. I have a plan which not only caps pensions, which this other plan doesn't, but says, let us refinance the debt we have. I can free up $500 million over the first 10 years to pay for potholes and fire stations, etc. The plan on the ballot is a fraud. It does not free up any money.
You haven't released your plan yet, haven't you?
Well, we did it in general. We're running numbers to make sure we're accurate.
When do you plan on releasing it?
Hopefully, within a few weeks. But I would say to Mr. DeMaio, Mr. Fletcher, Mr. Manis, show me where you save the money, because you said, for example, it freezes the salaries. It cannot freeze the salaries. It says we should, but you cannot, by initiative, freeze salaries. That's subject to collective bargaining.
So the unions could take this to court. I want to move on to...
Well, it's not about taking to court. You haven't bargained out the contracts yet.
I want to move on to medical marijuana, because you've been outspoken about this too. We know that in California, the people voted, they approved medical marijuana, federal crackdown. Where do you stand on this issue?
Well, I think it's a waste of resources for the federal government to be doing this. We're talking about not legalizing marijuana, but giving people who have chronic illness like cancers and others some, with a doctor's prescription and with regulation to say, if that can relieve the pain, why aren't we going to do it? And so if I was mayor, I would sponsor regulation at the city council which would allow these to occur rather than regulations that stop them. And I'm going to be introducing in Congress, I hope in the next several weeks, legislation that would exempt states like California, and there's others, that have said medical marijuana is legal from prosecution from federal authorities. It's a stupid waste of money. I was just with a young man today who was a quadriplegic. He has tried every kind of pain reliever. He's been a quadriplegic for 23 years. Nothing works except the medical marijuana. And he's going to have to go to the black market or the back alleys for medical marijuana because of the closing of things. That's wrong. It's unfair, and it's going to put his health into jeopardy.
Okay, Congressman Filner, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much.
Tonight on KPBS at 8, capture the unique allure and charisma of one of the world's most famous and photographed women, Audrey Hepburn, who lit up the silver screen for decades. Then at 9, gain access to the notoriously private film legend Woody Allen in the final part of his story on American Masters. And at 10:30 on Frontline, an American is involved in the 2008 terror attack on Mumbai. That's all tonight on KPBS.
On Nova, what if new universes were born all the time?
In this picture, the Big Bang is not a unique event.
And ours was just one of numerous parallel realities.
Somewhere, there's a duplicate of you and me and everyone else.
Are we in a universe or a multiverse? Physicist Brian Greene hosts The Fabric of the Cosmos.
Wednesday at 9 on KPBS. KPBS Evening Edition is made possible by Joan and Erwin Jacobs and by
There are more than 650,000 caregivers in San Diego County, and it's taking a toll on them financially and emotionally. But there are resources available to help caregivers navigate through the illness and stress. Joining me to talk about those resources are my guests, Roberto Velasquez with the Southern Caregiver Resource Center, and Anthony Martinez, who's caregiver for his mother who suffers from dementia and diabetes. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's start with you, Anthony. First of all, tell us about what you do for your mom as caregiver.
Pretty much right now, It's a lot. We start off in the morning. We check the blood sugar. We have meal preparations, medication management, a lot of reminders throughout the day with the dementia. Lots of reminders. You know, we go through the day. We have lunchtime, prepare lunch, dinner, and all the in-between stuff. The washing, keeping up the home. Mom does help. I do have her, do things.
So you've been in this role for about a year now, has it? Has it been as our caregiver?
Yes, it's been a year with Mom, but it started 3 years ago with Dad. We recently lost Dad, so it changed to Mom.
Were you prepared to be in this role as your mother's caregiver?
Honestly, no. I truly wasn't. Never knowing that Dad having dementia and passing, a month later, Mom gets diagnosed. I kind of seen it coming, but it was so strange how just a month after Dad, how it just really became her.
So, Roberta, what kind of resources are out there for people who are dealing with this? 650,000 in this county.
Right, and at Southern Caregiver Resource Center, we have a number of services. We specialize in providing comprehensive support services for family caregivers, like caregiver assessment and planning, helping caregivers prioritize their needs as well as identify some of their the resources that could help them right away. We also provide education and training workshops that help teach them how to communicate better with somebody with dementia, or how to take care of yourself. That we have relaxation programs and classes that we offer out in the community. We also offer support groups, which is really important for somebody when they're dealing with they're caring for somebody with a chronic disabling condition, especially frail senior. And we also offer some respite care, which is for urgent temporary needs that the family member might have.
So, did you have to quit your job in order to become a caregiver, or what'd you do?
I did, but that was a tough challenge, a tough process, I should say. It took me 3 months to decide what to do. You know, when it's like I say, when it started with Dad, I thought, I couldn't put him in a home. He wasn't ready for a home, and just him always saying, please don't ever put me in a home. So evaluate the situation and try to understand and accept the disease, and that's what I tried to do to base my decision. I had a great job. They were great with me, gave me so much time, but it did come to that point.
Roberto, how do people make this decision? I mean, financially, how do people quit a job, stay home, and then pay for the help that they need?
Well, I'll tell you, it's a very common problem. In fact, most of the family caregivers that reach out to Southern Caregiver Resource Center, that's one of their main concerns is, how am I going to pay for all of this? What resources are available? How do I apply for Medi-Cal? What are the eligibilities for things of that nature? Do I need a power of attorney? I mean, these are the types of financial questions that come up, and that our family consultants, who are very trained, experienced professional clinicians, can help the family members maneuver and help them plan out a list of things to take care of, as well as help maneuver them through the systems.
So, Anthony, as difficult as this must be for you and has been, there must be also something, obviously, as a caregiver you are receiving in return, taking care of your mom and making sure you honored your dad's wishes. What's the most rewarding part of all of this for you?
It's just knowing that I'm doing the right thing. I wasn't able to go buy them a home, pay off their bills, buy a car, but I could take care of them. They were great parents, wonderful parents. They've given me a great life. This was my way to say thank you. And that's the rewarding part. And hearing them say thank you for taking care of me, lucid moments. Why are you doing this? Because I love you. You took care of me. That's where we're at.
Roberto, let our audience know where they can go for help. Do you have a website?
Yes, we do. At Southern Caregiver Resource Center, it's www.caregivercenter.org. And that's a good place to start. And once you get connected with our organization, you'll be working with one family caregiver, and they'll follow you through your journey and help you throughout the way.
Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
We all all strive to accomplish our goals before old age catches up with us. But for one San Diego woman, the loss of her youth and her eyesight were far from a hindrance. Laura Simon had her 500-page book, I'm Still Here, published when she was 100 years old. Now she's one of the oldest living authors in the Library of Congress. As we continue our Envision series on aging in San Diego, KPBS video journalist Katie Ufrat brings us inside the home of the 105-year-old author to hear her story.
I am still here. Prologue. I am a writer, although sometimes I have my doubts. Wow, you are 100 years old? What's your secret?
That is a question that everybody asks me. What is your secret? My secret is in this book. I was looking for the secret myself. The secret is to live as honorably as you can and to work.
Oh, I was born in 1905, Thanksgiving, when Teddy Roosevelt was president.
I'm going to be 106 years old within the next week or two. And I must say that I stopped counting my age a long, long time ago. I'm much younger in spirit and the depth of my thinking. Here I am in the bathing suit. I'm very proud of this book. I wrote it by talking into a little tape recorder. And I talked in that little tape recorder for 9 years. And I did the paintings. Inside are my paintings. And my paintings come from the very depth of my being. It gives me life, gives me hope. I wanted to be in the Library of Congress because I was trying to reach the highest place where my book could live, forever you might say. And I reached that goal, and my goals go on. I still have goals. I was told that I'm the oldest living author in the Library of Congress. And the rest of the people are gone. The rest of the authors are all gone from the time of Washington. And my book is with all these great books. And the authors are gone. And as my title says on the book, I am still here.
Is that me? The picture of an old woman with a white cane and a picture of me, a bride of 20, was next to it.
I called an agent once. He said, I only want to ask you one question. Who would want to read your book? Why would they want to read your book? Finally, it came to, and I said, I'm a survivor. That's who I am. I have survived 100 years of living. But I must say, all the bad things now are behind me. And only the good remains, the love of my family and friends. And when I look out to the world from this height, all I see is great beauty. And that's how I live. I see only beauty. I don't think of death. There is no such thing in my mind or my heart. I feel that I'm going to be living forever.
Laura Simon is legally blind and hard of hearing, but still cleans her apartment, pays all her own bills, and keeps in touch with her 2 children and many grand and great-grandchildren. She turns 106 on Saturday. I first met Laura 3 years ago after interviewing her about the 2008 presidential election. She is an amazing woman, and we wish her a happy birthday. You can see our entire series on aging in San Diego on an Envision edition, evening edition special this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. and at kpbs.org/envision.
I'm Ray Suarez. On the next News Hour, GOP presidential hopefuls on foreign policy. That's Tuesday on the PBS NewsHour.
The American people have named PBS the most trusted source of news and public affairs for the 8th year in a row. Trust. The American people have spoken. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rick Steves, and I'll be in the KPBS studios to host a 2-hour special on some of my favorite European waterways. We'll explore the fabled Dalmatian coast from dramatic Dubrovnik to salty Adriatic island ports. Then we'll travel to the west of Norway for a sail under towering fjord cliffs and a hike on powerful glaciers. And we'll top it off with some fun in the Spanish sun on the Costa del Sol. I hope you can join us.
Coming December 1st at 8 on KPBS.
Welcome back to the Public Square on KPBS Evening Edition. Last week we asked for your opinion on the Harbor Wings, a sculpture proposed for the Navy Pier. It got a lot of mixed reviews. The sculpture is part of a $68 million Veterans Park that's been proposed by the Midway Museum. Next week, the museum will begin holding a series of public information meetings to present the plans and get public comments. You can learn more about the meetings at a website created for the proposal. The web address is veteransparknavypier.com. And you can weigh in on the conversation by following us on Twitter, liking us on Facebook, and of course you can email me directly, jfarian@kpbs.org. I'd love to hear from you. And you can watch and comment on any of the stories you saw tonight on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Well, thanks for joining us. Have a great evening, and we leave you with a look at the forecast.